hate the Democratic Party.
Really? Hey, look, SMC bandana spotted. Does DSA really hate the Democratic Party? Well, it depends on who you're talking to. I think that most of us would agree that the Democrats do not have our best interests at heart. Like, people have this shibboleth, this myth. Like, a lot of people, both on the left and right wing of American politics, don't really understand DSA. They think that DSA is just like either some sort of slave street team of the Democratic Party, or they think that it's some type of hyper revolutionary, radical, secret, sneaky organization that seeks to do down America and dance on the ashes. Of course, I would prefer that if we were actually the latter, but we are not that. Like, the thing with DSA, an organization that almost has 100,000 members, is that you can find every type of people with every type of politics within the organization. So, really categorizing DSA as all one thing or all another thing is fallacious. You haven't done any investigation, you're speaking without investigating, and you should not do that.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
Democratic Party is not really our friend. It isn't.
So this is from like an organization. Well, I don't even. This is probably just like some one guy in a room somewhere that has nothing better to do than just sit and scroll through DSA members' posts and videos and shit like that. Like these people have doxed me like 20 times. Like it's funny. Like I was an activist in college. Okay, I literally made national news for trolling. I guess that's how you could categorize it, asking questions for two Zionists at an event that they hosted at my university. I did not get a Canary Mission profile for that, but it took me joining DSA for me to get a Canary Mission profile.
So why are the D
But yeah, they basically go around and they try to dox people who, even in the most innocuous form, have displayed principled solidarity with the Palestinian people. Zoran Mamdani has a Canary Mission profile. Yeah, the probable next mayor of New York has been doxxed and trolled and harassed by these people. This is why I laugh when people are like, "Oh my God, Zoran is a Zionist." I'm like, "No, the fuck." Okay, he has given what do you say, fuel to the liberal Zionist fire, and liberal Zionism is particularly dangerous because it gives fuel to the like hardcore, ideologically committed violence. Well, all Zionism is violent, but it gives fuel to your Kahanists and your Beitar types, like the people that would literally want to assassinate Zoran. So he shouldn't have done that. I am obviously I'm going to be the first to criticize him for that because that's what Maoists do. Maoists criticize every fucking thing under the sun. But a lot of y'all are being undialectical, okay? I don't think that Zoran Mamdani is like an ideologically committed Zionist. The guy founded Students for Justice of Palestine at his university in Bowdoin. So I don't think Zoran Mamdani is an actual committed Zionist. I do think that he wants to win the NYC mayoral election. I think that he wants to be mayor of New York. And I think he's come to the realization that, like, he's going to have to walk back some certain things. Do I get it? Yes. Do I think that that's ideal? No. Am I criticizing for walking that back? Yes. Do I think that Zoran Namdani is Malcolm X? Absolutely not, because Malcolm X was killed by the establishment, whereas Zoran seems to be trying to reach some type of rapprochement, some type of happy medium with the establishment. And of course, no matter how much establishment ass he kisses, despite the delusional rants of certain people on the DSA right, who literally believe that Barack Obama, of all people, bent the knee to DSA and Zoran Mamdani. That's not the case, okay? Trump has already said that he's going to try to cut off federal funding to several key programs in New York City. So my guess is that Trump is going to try to trigger a replay, except 20 times worse, of the 70s fiscal crisis that almost bankrupted New York City. So, yeah, Trump is willing to play dirty like that. You also have people that are talking about capital flight. You have people that are talking about all types of shit. And 1 million people are about to leave New York because Mamdani wins. Okay, good. Maybe finally people like me can afford to live in New York. So I really don't give a shit about people leaving New York because it was around Mamdani. Like, if you're afraid to live in New York City because some suck them takes over, that's too fucking bad. Is Ram Namdani a Liberation Caucus member? Absolutely not. I believe he characterized his own politics as being close to bread and roses, but he's not a member of a caucus. It's good that he's not a member of a caucus because that's too much clout for one caucus to have. To paraphrase that pig from Spike Lee's Malcolm X.
DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship
We are not major players in the Democratic Party. The Democrats hate us.
can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA Cuckoo Caucus.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy.
Hey, I know her. I ranked her for NPC. What's up, Sarah?
That pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups.
What internal enforcers? Who in DSA takes orders from anybody? You do not know how DSA works. Nobody in DSA takes orders from people like me.
City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party, and
This would be very cool if true, yes.
certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
Okay, so what they're doing is they watch DSA, like, we host a regular series of, like, forums and stuff like that. So what these people do is they spy on DSA forums, and they extract shit that, they take shit wildly out of context, and this is basically Hasbara propaganda. Hasbara is a Hebrew term which, if I recall correctly, means convincing or persuading. What they're doing is they basically take shit, innocuous shit that people like Alex from Seattle DSA are saying, and they try to paint it as some shit that's wildly, like, they try to paint it as something that the individual that's saying this stuff is not intending to say. Okay? I'm surprised that these people haven't started using AI to put words in people's mouths yet. It's coming. It's definitely coming.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in
Yes, this is right-wing American hysterics.
city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within.
Building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party.
Nope.
It is here to consume it.
Nope.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA,
Hey, Rashida.
to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mamdani, an extremist within the DSA.
Zohran is not an extremist within the DSA. Zohran is pretty firmly on the center-right of the DSA. He is not... Bruh. I am on the hard left of the DSA, okay? I'm the radical. I'm the extremist within DSA. Zohran Mamdani is not.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
The most important thing that we can do is...
She's a member of Groundwork. Groundwork is another, like, the faction. Groundwork is literally on the center-right, verging hard right of DSA. This is not, Francis is not a radical.
Is take that empire down from within.
Ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
Oh, that's Amy. She's in Mug. Another NPC comrade.
Movements that can drive a stake through the heart of the empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
So, yeah, these people have basically been Somebody's definitely paying them for this shit. So they've been like attacking DSA for months, basically. Oh yeah. Did y'all see Cuomo's Halloween video? It was bad. It was incredibly bad, even by AI standards. Did y'all see this?
Nothing.
Oh. Yeah. So they've been attacking because like they're afraid. They're afraid. They've just been like compiling dossiers on DSA members for months. I was hold on. Let me find mine and show y'all. So Fox News has picked up on this shit. I do not like your coverage.
We're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
Democratic Party is not really our
Yep.
friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic
I'm not
Party?
allowing
This
Fox
odd
News ads. I don't love
relationship can be
Fox News
understood.
that much. Yeah, just post after post after post after post of this bullshit. Oh look, they've even got an Uncle Tom.
Look up the first and second Intifada. Look up Israeli history.
How much did they pay you, bro?
Look up the Israelis that were murdered in their homes, that were brutally
Oh, they took down the Halloween video?
beaten and killed on the streets.
Saran should sue for that shit. Like, you should be able to sue for somebody just taking your likeness. Like, did y'all see that crazy Neil deGrasse Tyson thing where he was saying that the earth was flat? Like, that shit is scary. If your image or your voice or your a video of you is out there, and if you're a Zoomer or a millennial, you're out there, they can literally just take your shit and use it and make shit, like make videos out of you of you saying shit that you never even meant, that you never said. That's some creepy fucking shit.
Were blown up on buses. Look this stuff up.
All right, I can't stand. I don't like this dude's face. Yeah, Saran is not going to defund the police. He's not going to defund the police. He's actually apologized to cops. So, hey, look, there's my caucus. An anti-American network. Hostile takeover. Mamdani and the DSA's plan to capture America. Yeah, he's also going to keep the same police commissioner from the Eric Adams era. They don't like Al-Fawad, not surprising.
Of troubling connections between Zoran Mamdani, the DSA, and a range of radical allies unpacks how his campaign is framed. Anti-American activists from Mamdani's organization.
Hey, look. So they're acting as if like my caucus, the Maoists. Okay, just for the record, Zoran's campaign has not hit up the Maoists for anything. We have not written any of his speeches. We have not engaged with the Zoran Mamdani campaign in an organized capacity in any way, shape, or form. So these people are flat out lying. It's claiming that like DSA Liberation Caucus is a major player. No, the NPC doesn't take orders from the... No, nobody takes orders from Liberation Caucus.
DSA are driving a radical agenda to dismantle America, its Western values, and everything it stands
Western values.
for.
I thought Israel was part of the Middle East. Why are y'all so concerned about Western values?
The NYC DSA inner circle includes members such as Ethan Eblegay, who attended a Death to America Day party, and Sidney Carlson White, who praised Mamdani's readiness to defend Globalize the Intifada. Mamdani's campaign field organizers include the DSA, which received $33,350 for pushing his campaign, and the New York
DSA is an entirely member-funded organization. We don't get government money.
Working Families Party, which received $30,000 for canvassing. Mamdani's ties also include defund the police advocates, anti-Israel activists, and radical media influencers. The map shares his direct connections to organizations and people such as Siraj Wahhaj, who encourages Muslims to use politics as a weapon in the cause of Islam. Equally alarming, The report.
So basically what these people do, this is the full website. I mean, the full, like, attempt at a takedown. So that's the video that we just saw. So they're basically acting as if, like, this was released the day before Halloween. I guess to try to scare everybody. But, like, I don't know. I don't think average New York City voters are looking at and reading Canary Mission to determine who they're going to vote for. People are going to be voting for Mamdani because Zoran has promised them, like, stuff that'll actually improve their daily lives. He's trying to make New York more affordable. So it's also amazing how, like, this guy is basically, like, these people have basically, like, glommed and united the DSA left and right. Like, everybody is getting attacked.
You've heard of Zoran Mamdani.
You have people from Groundwork, you have people from Socialist Majority Caucus, you have people from Liberation Caucus, you have people from MUG, you have people from Bread and Roses. You have all types of people that are being attacked and categorized as like weird anti-American Rudy Deutschke long march through the institutions types. Like it's just fucking wild. But this shit is, it's good to be attacked by the enemy. It's always good to be attacked by the enemy, because if the enemy is not attacking you, like they're doing this because they are scared of Zoran. They're scared of Zoran, they're scared of what Zoran represents, and they're scared of what's going to come after Zoran. They're afraid that people like me are eventually going to start taking over major American cities. So this is my caucus, DSA Liberation Caucus. They have a whole fucking dossier on me and my caucus. They've literally scrolled through and documented and taken a screenshot and linked to everything that my caucus has said that could be construed as anti-American activism. Yes, we are very open about the fact that yes, we do not want America to continue to be that thing, because America is literally death. Malcolm said that America is prison. That's how you define America. So let's see what they have to say about us. The far-left DSA Liberation Caucus believes the United States is a settler colony. This is truth. This is historical truth. This is not a lie. This is not Hasbara. This is simply the truth. It is a settler colony, just like Australia, just like Rhodesia was, just like Canada, just like all of these other states that were founded by European settlers at the expense of indigenous people. The United States is not a nation. It is a prison house of nations, with the Euro-American people being the jailers. We also say that the U.S. was founded on stolen land with stolen labor. Again, this is historical truth. There are many books that have been written about this fact. Socialism in the United States requires the liberation of oppressed Black, Chicano, Indigenous, Puerto Rican, Hawaiian, and other people who have been reduced by this country's machinations. Otherwise, it will just be another form of imperialism with a red flag. And we also contend that the United States remains the #1 enemy of the global majority. It's the United States which continues to prop up the fascist settler colony of Israel, enabling it to murder our class siblings in Palestine. How is anything that we said untrue? So you just scroll down and down and down and down and down, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You have literal fucking liberal organizations that are being characterized as weird anti-American. Like CARE is not a terror organization. CARE is a like, it's an interest group. It's a lobbying group for American Muslims. How is that? They even have the guy's dad on here, Mahmoud Mamdani. They have Hassan Piker on here. They have Linda Sarsa. They have Francisca Maviglia. They have Cliff Connolly. They even put the manlet on here. What has Cliff done? Nothing. Oh, they have Liberation Caucus again. They are obsessed with us. They are obsessed with us. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. If you want to subject yourself to this, then by all means. They have a bunch of elected officials. They have the entire NPC. DSA affiliated activists. They have a shitload. Hey, there's me. Yes, now you all know my name. So they just collected a bunch of my tweets. Yes, you all found out I have an Anglo-Saxon last name. Shoot me. They have 42 of my tweets. 42 of my fucking tweets. It's like if KeyWiki had money. They even took this. They even took this shit. How? This is like a little fucking bangers. This is like a bangers compilation. I appreciate. Thank you, Canary Mission, for compiling all of my bangers in one space. Oh, let's see what my rap sheet is. Expressing support for violence, glorifying a domestic terrorist, honoring violent criminals, expressing support for terrorism, hatred of America and Canada, hatred of the police, praising America's enemies, celebrating communist mass murderers, expressing support for communism, calling for the destruction of Israel, hatred of Israel and Zionism, Winston's DSA activism and support for Zoran Mamdani, Democratic Socialists of America, the BDS movement, and they have my social media, so you can hit me up. But yeah, that's me. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to impact the election tomorrow that Zoran is definitely going to win. I don't want to be in an organization that allows Mao. It's good. I don't want to be in an organization that allows itself to be 95% white, but we got to compromise. This is what's going on in Memphis. You have African Americans, people that were literally born and raised in this country. Not that it really matters all that much anymore. They are giving me a nice layup for when, if I ever want to get into electoral politics. If I run in a black district, they're not going to care about any of this shit. So, never heard of anybody keeping their birth certificate on them at all times. So this guy had a copy of his birth certificate in his wallet and his state ID. He was walking to a corner store in Memphis, Tennessee. A Memphis Police Department cruiser pulled up and 2 officers questioned him. Where was he coming from? Where was he going? Basically, every fucking day, this is what happens to black people in this country. Mr. Williams responded, and they continued to interrogate and harass him. Did he have any weapons? Did he have any drugs? When he asked to empty his pockets, he turned over his wallet and phone. Minutes later, ICE pulled up. They pulled out of an unmarked SUV with tinted windows. They carried rifles and wore body armor. He thought of his family. Deep down, I felt like I was not going to make it home. Many such cases. This was October 15th. It occurred about 2 weeks after the National Guard and 30 other local, state, and federal agencies descended upon Memphis as part of Donald Trump's order authorizing hyper-vigilant policing to end violent crime. In addition to targeting violent criminals, the operation dubbed Memphis Safe Task Force has ensnared innocent residents of this majority black city. Among those who have reported being harassed, a rideshare driver stopped for not wearing a seatbelt despite having one on as she drove a passenger to the airport. A pastor pulled over for looking lost after she left the church gathering. And in the case of mistaken identity, a 72-year-old man rousted out of his bed and marched out of his apartment while he was clad only in his robe and underwear. None of these people were ticketed or arrested, but they feared for their safety during what they described as indiscriminate and intimidating police encounters. None of the law enforcement agencies involved responded to specific questions. So you literally frog marched a 72-year-old man in his robe and underwear, dragged him out of his bed. You pulled over a pastor, and you were harassing an Uber driver for not wearing a seatbelt, even though she was wearing one, and you have nothing to say. You have nothing to say. And then after giving him his wallet back, the pig told him, don't do anything bad and keep your ID on you. This is like a slavery era requirement. During slavery, if we were free, like if we were freed from bondage, well, can you ever be said to be free from bondage in a country that's founded on your bondage? But if you were free, temporarily even at least, you had to carry freedom papers. Like you literally had to be prepared at any time to show papers to any white dude that stopped you. Otherwise, you could be beaten, you could be murdered, you could be dragged off of the nearest plantation and like, here you go, buddy. Found you a new slave. Where's my bounty? Yeah, they would do that type of shit. They literally, have you watched 12 Years a Slave? They literally kidnapped this man from New York, deep in what was supposed to be free territory. They kidnapped this man and they sold him south to a plantation. You literally had people that were patrolling the streets of Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Milwaukee, all of these supposed northern free cities, kidnapping random black people that looked strong and likely to work and selling them south into slavery. Some of these people were able to free themselves. A lot of them died in bondage. Is Liberation accepting members right now? No, you just missed our last candidacy period. We'll open back up in the spring. In California, carrying IDs is mandatory. It's been that way for years, but that's straight up one of those racist pretext laws. Yeah. This is what you have to deal with. But again, I thought this was a free country. Nope. This is a CBP helicopter circling a protest on October 4th. Yeah. This is how we live. This is how we live. What are you going to do about it? So, on the genocide in Sudan. If you're not familiar, Comrade has written this very, very good statement, basically pointing out several key contradictions about what's going on in Sudan right now. A lot of people continue to visit Dubai. A lot of people continue to promote Dubai on their social media, on their Instagram, on their Twitter. Leave everything related to the United Arab Emirates alone, okay? Leave everything related to the UAE alone. Okay, these are enemies of the world's people. So, Liberation Caucus, my caucus, the caucus that Canary Mission hates, stands in unflinching solidarity with the oppressed peoples of Darfur and broader Sudan, who are confronting yet another eruption of genocide rooted in imperialist-backed paramilitarism and uneven exchange. For decades, the region of Darfur has been the target of mass violence, displacement, and extermination by the RSF, Rapid Support Forces. Okay, here's the thing with like paramilitaries. If they have, the more generic sounding their name is, the more evil they do. Rapid Support Forces. Militia, whose origin lies in the genocidal campaign waged by the Janjaweed under the former regime of Omar al-Bashir. As the RSF renews its assault against the non-Arab indigenous communities of Darfur, the politics of international complicity are laid bare. The Gulf state of the United Arab Emirates has been documented by U.S. intelligence and human rights investigations as a key supplier of advanced weaponry, drones, logistics, and financial support to the Rapid Support Forces regime of terror. Sudan's weapons, gold, and other assets are not merely local spoils, but pieces in an imperial chain. So if you look at videos about Dubai, they have these lovely, lovely gold shops. Okay, all that gold is stolen from Sudan. There are no gold mines in the Gulf. Okay, all of this is stolen from Sudan by the RSF. The UAE profits from the extraction of Sudanese resources while the Sudanese workers, peasants, and indigenous masses suffer the violence and terror required to maintain that extraction. The Rapid Support Force functions as the paramilitary guard of a regime that imposes unequal exchange upon the periphery, while the UAE anchors that extraction in global capital networks. To that end, we assert the following. 1. Genocide is underway. The seizure of Al-Fashir by the RSF, followed by mass killings, summary executions, house-to-house, door-to-door clearances, and targeted ethnic violence against the Fur, Zaghawa, and Berti communities, constitutes genocide under the framework of the Geneva Genocide Convention. UAE imperialist complicit action. The UAE supply weapons, Chinese drones subcontracted via the UAE, logistics via the port of Bosaso and other hubs, and the financing of RSF gold networks all amount to a colonial continuation, where Gulf capital profits from violence in the global south while directly aiding paramilitary genocidal forces in Sudan. 3. The arms trade must cease. States in the imperial core, particularly the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, continue arms exports to the UAE despite evidence of diversion and misuse, must be held accountable. Their complicity in prolonging the genocidal war cannot be ignored. 4. Self-determination for the oppressed. The peoples of Darfur and Sudan must be supported in a struggle to dismantle the RSF regime, uproot paramilitarism, and establish genuine people's power rooted in worker-peasant alliances and anti-imperialist solidarity, rather than being confined to humanitarian relief or elite brokered peace deals. 5. Global working class solidarity is not simply a regional conflict, but a facet of the worldwide class war. The same forces that bankroll paramilitaries such as the RSF in Sudan are connected to global capital, which exploits labor in the global south, extracts resources under unequal exchange, and deploys violence to maintain capital accumulation. Workers in the imperial core, lumpen proletarian sectors, and the working poor globally must recognize that our enemy is common and our solidarity must be transnational. Immediate demands. 1. The RSF must be designated a foreign terrorist organization by all parties. All aid, arms, and diplomatic support for it must be cut off. The United Arab Emirates must be subject to targeted sanctions, its arms trade audited, and companies supplying the RSF must be frozen and prosecuted. A complete and independent international tribunal must investigate the genocide in Darfur and hold the RSF leadership and external backers accountable. A genuine ceasefire, humanitarian corridors, and the militarization of civilian zones must be enforced immediately, with protection by a multinational anti-imperialist force under civilian oversight. Reparations and self-managed reconstruction for Darfur's indigenous communities, land return, housing, resources, and control of governance must be secured. We declare the genocide in Sudan is not an accident of history or a civil war in isolation. It is the escalation of imperialist war, paramilitary extraction, and global capitalist accumulation. To confront it, we must adopt a strategy rooted in dialectical materialism, analyzing the concrete class forces, imperial relations, the contradiction between capital and labor, and mobilizing the oppressed internationally. In solidarity with Darfur's workers, peasants, women, youth, and indigenous people, we pledge to fight until the RSF is dismantled, the UAE's arming of genocide is ended, and a new Sudan rooted in class emancipation and anti-imperialist justice rises. This statement was issued by Liberation Caucus today, November 3rd, 2025. So, myself and a few other comrades from Liberation are going to be watching the results from the New York City election tomorrow at tomorrow, November 4th, starting at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it'll be a time. A lot of us support Zoran. A lot of us have critiques. A lot of us don't play. A lot of us will not vote for Zoran even if we could. I personally would vote for Zoran. I support him. Yes, he has done some very stupid things. He has said some very stupid things, but particularly around the national liberation struggle of the Palestinian people. But like, do we think that Cuomo or God forbid Curtis Sliwa gives a shit about the Palestinian people? Of course not. So, am I a lesser evilist? No, but I do think that like a lot of leftists within DSA and leftists in general, I wouldn't call it a purity test, but a lot of you all do not know how this shit works. A lot of you all want to try to keep your hands clean, but look, you live in the Imperial Core. Your hands are going to be bloody regardless. So, Zoran is the best for the people of New York. Okay? I guarantee you that the majority of Palestinian people that are voting are going to be voting for him. So, do we know more than the Palestinian people of Bay Ridge? I don't think so. And of course, Comrade Nadine Kiswani and various other comrades who have been doing this work for years, they have many, many critiques. You should study them. You should read them. You should analyze them. And you should take heed to them. But at the same time, we cannot take comrades' words and use them and spin them to come to reactionary conclusions. Oh, we shouldn't vote at all. If you don't want to vote, if you want to be an electoral abstentionist, by all means, go ahead. But I just think that as a DSA member, I think we should support our own. We should critically support our own when they do stupid shit. But at the same time, we literally have one of our members that's about to take over one of the most powerful executive positions in the United States. That means a lot. Is he going to fuck up? Most definitely. But at the same time, it should not be able to be said that we refuse to provide any support whatsoever. But yes, socialists making mistakes cannot be compared to liberals doing it on purpose. That is also very true. So, political prisoners. Never forget. On July 21st, 2025, Jackie McCray, a 22-year-old black organizer, turned himself in to the NYPD following a month-long federal manhunt for him on allegations that he set fire to 11 New York Police Department vehicles on the night of June 12, 2025. Jackie now faces 5 to 20 years of federal prison on charges of federal arson. This is not Jackie's first experience with repression. Since October of 2023, Jackie was arrested over 11 times as he protested for a free Palestine and an end to the genocide in Gaza, as well as for ICE-free communities. Jackie was remanded to house arrest at his family home in New Jersey so he could receive email, communications or letters, books, etc. shipped to his P.O. box. So you can write to him at write2jockey@proton.me, or you also have his address here, Jackie McCrae, P.O. Box 330476, Brooklyn, New York, 11233. So there are many other political prisoners that are on Liberation Caucus's website. Well, not website, Twitter page. But I guess it is kind of website. But yeah, check them out and organize your comrades to support them. This is also incredibly important. So you have these Prairie Land anti-ICE protesters in Texas. On July 4th, 2025, a dozen people gathered for a noise demo to express solidarity with ICE detainees outside an ICE prison in Alvarado, Texas. In a state narrative full of inconsistencies, they claim that two people exchanged gunfire with law enforcement nearby. Subsequently, police arrested everyone in the area and charged these 10 people with terrorism and attempted murder. This, of course, is Trump's bullshit. At this point, 70 people have been arrested and imprisoned, including partners, roommates, and jail support organizers who likely never set foot in Alvarado. On October 17th, a new indictment was added using Trump's Antifa directive to prosecute the Prairie Land defendants. It is essential to support these people because this could easily be you. This could easily be you. If you show up to support to support people who've been kidnapped by ICE, this is what they can do to you. So it's important to build networks and build solidarity before you end up being in this position. Like you do not want to end up in prison and nobody gives a shit about you. You do not want to end up in prison and nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody wants to write to you. Nobody wants to do anything to you. And whatever you think of Zeron, like his campaign is going to set the standard for socialist electeds for the decades to come. Like this has been an incredibly well managed, at least in the sphere of propaganda and networking, campaign.
Assalamualaikum, milenge. Thank you. Hi.
I vote for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I just tell my wife you're here.
Thank you. Please give this to her. Thank you so much. How you doing, brother? I'm happy to meet you. How you doing, brother? Love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Walaikum salam ji, kaise ho? Thank you ji. आप वोट किए अब तक?
I'm 67. I retire. I cannot retire.
What are you going to do when you retire?
My payments and 25-year
payment. You're going to work until you drop dead.
Exactly.
You're going to work.
Easy.
Easy. We need this man.
This is a signature hug. He's a strong guy.
How you doing, brother? For South Asians growing up in New York City, taxis were one of the ways we would see ourselves as part of the fabric of the city. Thank you, brother. Thank you. As much as taxis have been celebrated, as much as they've been woven into the most prominent examples of what it means to be a New Yorker, or the films and the books that we all love about the city, I watched, as did many New Yorkers, as driver after driver was trapped in debt peonage, and their struggles were simply overlooked by politicians. You know, it's time to also speak to New Yorkers for whom the workday starts at night. It's time to actually...
How many languages has this guy learned?
Look to represent them.
I just wanted to say hi, but so many cameras.
It's all good. Yeah,
whatever you're doing is good, man.
Thank you, brother.
God bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, Mr. Mandani, nice to see you. You're gonna be win. You're gonna be next mayor, Mr. Mandani. Next mayor.
Oh.
Hey, Mr. Mandani. I love you. We miss you. We cannot wait you to win the next mayor.
Like, this is somebody that actually has a genuine support of the masses. Like, do online ultra-leftists, like, they always talk about the masses, the masses, the masses. The masses love this guy. Why? Because they see him as representing their interests. Like, these cab drivers, these are not astroturfed. This is not an AI video like Cuomo's bullshit. Like, the people actually genuinely fuck with this guy and they want him to be mayor. Like, do we know more than the masses? Do we know more than the masses of Palestinian people in Bay Ridge? Do we know more than the masses of West Indian people in Flatbush? Of course, this isn't a call to like just blindly tail behind the masses, but this guy has mass support. You have a DSA candidate that has mass support. I don't think it's performative. I actually think he gives a shit about these people.
8:30, and I quit at 8:30.
8:30 in the morning.
And of course, yes, he's a politician. We all know that politicians lie, but there is a genuineness there.
8:30 tonight. Yeah. How about
Yeah, 9:30 to like a 10, sometimes
9:30 in the morning, 10 p.m. tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not
Working
like
very hard.
Soon. If you vote. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, brother. Nice to meet you.
He's just excited to see you.
You guys taught me how to campaign.
Oh yeah.
So we were telling people, you know, we want to tell the stories of the New Yorkers who are often forgotten. How you doing, brother? Who work while everyone else gets to sleep.
That was my shift at the hunger strike.
Yeah.
Night shift.
Yeah, night shift. Without the night shift, there is no morning. Sometimes.
There's no New York City.
Yeah. I know. I hear you. Thank you, brother. I'll be there.
I gotta show you.
You're
Oh my God.
So cute. Yildiz and Noel.
Oh, that's a lot of people who used to be New Yorkers have been pushed to Jersey.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to work 7 days a week to be able to afford to live in this city.
If you didn't help us get this deal and bring the payments down, even 7 days would not have been enough. Truly, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they love this guy because he actually helped get them. He actually helped get their demands on a strike that they made. This is Liberation's position on the election. Like, why do people think that Cuomo and Italians are so important to humanity? The Italians have been chased out of New York. Nobody needs Italians in New York anymore. It's time for the Gujaratis to run shit. This is my favorite.
مرحبا أنا اسمي زهران ممداني وعم رشح حالي ليكون العمدة الجديد في مدينة نيويورك. بعرف شو تفكروا، شكلي كأني سهركم من الشام، بس العربي تبعي بده شوية شغل. مع هيك أنا حابب اليوم أطلب دعمكم يوم 4 نوفمبر. العيشة بنيويورك صارت غالية للكل. ازيك يا باشا؟ كل شيء تمام؟ وصار صعب نعيش فيها ونربي أولاد. أنا كعمدة رح جمد الإيجارات لأكثر من 2,000,000 شخص وخلي الباصات سريعة ومجانا وأضمن رعاية الأطفال شاملة لكل العائلات. ويمكن ما فيني أقنعك إنه الكنافة النابلسية بستانواي أطيب من نيوجيرسي، بس بوعدكم إني رح أشتغل بكل جهدي لأسهل عليكم بفتح مشاريعكم الصغيرة وتدفعوا إيجاركم وتبنوا مستقبلكم في مدينة نيويورك. التصويت المبكر مفتوح الآن حتى 2 نوفمبر ويوم الانتخابات يوم 4 نوفمبر. أنا منكم وإليكم سنراكم.
I'm from you and I'm for you. Again, this is the culmination of, I think, decades of effort on the part of DSA and the movement as a whole. But again, will we have to hold Zoran accountable? Yes. But it will also be necessary to defend him because Trump is going to fuck with him. Why? Because Trump thinks that he's a communist. Is Zoran Mamdani a communist? Absolutely not. He's a suck-dem. He's a social democrat. But raise your hand if you would prefer a social democrat as opposed to an open fascist. I would. But I think a lot of these ultra-leftists who don't even live in New York City, have never been to New York City, don't give a shit about people in New York City, the same dumbasses that are like, oh yeah, 9/11, we're good. Like those types of people, I think that they're nihilists. They're nihilists. Like, you don't give a shit about the masses. You don't even give a shit about the Palestinian people. You just use these people's suffering as a sort of cover for your own nihilistic views. You're not even a third worldist because a lot of these are third world people. You don't give a shit. You think you're smarter than the masses. You don't see the masses as making history. You just see, all you see is yourself and your own doomerism and your own third worldist. No, because I actually have third worldist comrades. Your own faux, phony, fake third worldist bullshit. It's not third worldism. It's not third worldism. And Kevin Rashid Johnson characterized this type of thing as like a fantasy land where the privileged, those with inordinate amounts of white guilt, y'all just play in revolution. These people are not playing in revolution. They know what they're doing. They're going out voting for Iran because Iran is going to improve their quality of life. You don't give that much of a shit about the third world. You just care about confirming your own misinterpretations of Lenin and Mao. You got to do better.
That was a good one, yes.
So yeah, based. But we will see tomorrow whether or not he'll pull through. I hope he does.
Father,
And on the other hand, you have this shit.
who art in heaven.
So Trump is preparing for a whole new ass crusade like an old school style crusade in Nigeria on behalf of Nigerian Christians. I wonder how many Nigerian Christians Trump has had deported.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Like, this is literal crusader propaganda.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Nobody calls it the Department of War, by the way. Nobody. I watched this video last night. You should too. It's by Comrade Think Peace Tribe. You should definitely check it out. I'm gonna make you check it out.
In chapter 12 of Beneath the Mountain, an anti-prison reader, the introduction pages to MLK's letter from Birmingham City Jail contain these words. Quote, his argument shifts from the question, is it legal or illegal?
Does this dude have a fucking papers advertise? Like, he has the... I love black people. This guy has raw papers on his on his bandana.
Legal to is it ethical or unethical? In his moral
Raw, slow-burning papers.
landscape, the oppressed lead and sincere allies take direction from them. Frankly, this letter has so many
So this is Comrade Think Peace Tribe. You should definitely go subscribe to him.
takeaways that they could amount
Or else.
to the length of a dissertation. Hints of liberation theology, the police state killing black brothers and sisters with impunity, and most importantly, his take on the white moderate. Quote, first, I must confess that over the last few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's greatest stumbling block in the stride toward freedom is not the white citizens' counselor or the Ku Klux Klaner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I can't agree with your methods of...
Everybody in DSA should read that Martin Luther King Jr. speech. Well, not speech, letter from Birmingham jail, and also watch this video. As a lot of y'all make the same mistakes. A lot of y'all have been saying some pretty fucked up shit to Palestinian and black, especially women organizers, around the topics of mutual aid and around Ziran. And, like, yes, we support Ziran, but, like, he's not a god, okay? He's a man. He will tell you, I'm not a god, I'm not a man. Like, are you all going to build some type of Rastafarian-style cult, like they did around Haile Selassie around Ziran? Like, that's no good. That's not dialectical materialism. That's not socialism. Like, y'all want Uncle Sugar to come save you so fucking badly that you lose all your fucking common sense. You got to do better. You can't behave like that, man.
Paternalistically feels that he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by the myth of time, and who constantly advises...
I'll be right back. Listen to Think Peace.
...the Negro to wait until a more convenient season. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Lukewarm acceptance is much more bewildering than outright rejection. MLK wrote this passage in 1963, and these words continue to ring true in 2025 through more contemporary examples of the white moderate problem. C. Wright Mills defines the power elite as those who occupy the strategic command posts of the major institutional hierarchies. One of the highly visible public figures who occupies this power elite is a man named Ezra Klein. He's a white, neoliberal political commentator and journalist who has his own show with the New York Times and wrote a book titled Abundance, which advocates for big tent politics. Said politics refers to a political party that encompasses a spectrum of political beliefs, including the right wing. It's important to understand why Ezra Klein is part of the power elite by going deeper into Mills's The Power Elite. Quote, "The power elite is composed of men whose positions enable them to transcend the ordinary environments of ordinary men and women. They are in positions to make decisions having major consequences. Whether they do or do not make such decisions is less important than the fact that they do occupy such pivotal positions. Their failure to act, their failure to make decisions is itself an act that is often of greater consequence than the decisions they do make." Ezra Klein has been invited to the White House. Senate Democrats listen to Ezra Klein when he speaks, and he even helped set the stage for Kamala Harris's nomination in February 2024 when he advocated for Joe Biden to drop out. He isn't just a prominent celebrity. His words can influence the direction of an entire mainstream political party. After the death of Charlie Kirk, Ezra Klein released an op-ed article with the New York Times that stated Charlie Kirk was practicing politics the right way. As recently as 2024, this same Charlie Kirk said, quote, "The Great Replacement strategy, which is well underway every single day in our southern border, is a strategy to replace white rule America with something different. The Great Replacement theory is a white supremacist conspiracy theory that claims white populations are being systematically replaced by non-white populations. According to this theory, white people are the superior race, but are simultaneously being controlled and replaced by other inferior races." This goes back to Ezra Klein because these statements weren't talked about nor mentioned in Ezra Klein's article about Charlie Kirk. Seeing this, Ta-Nehisi Coates responded in a Vanity Fair article where he stated, "And what of the writers, the thinkers, and the pundits who cannot separate the great crime of Kirk's death from the malignancy of his public life? Can they truly be so ignorant to the words of a man they have so rushed to memorialize? I don't know." But the most telling detail in Klein's column was that for all his praise, there was not a single word in the piece from Kirk himself. This rightful disagreement earned Coates an opportunity to hash out his differences with Ezra Klein on his podcast show with the New York Times. Throughout the hour-long conversation, Coates explains the history of Black Reconstruction, the Civil Rights Movement, and how America's past history with Black people affects America's present moments with Black people. Ezra Klein is only able to respond to this by saying, "When you view history in this way, it makes the present too deterministic. And I like to view history 8 to 12 years ago." What exhibits the issues with the white moderate better than this? What displays these timeless words from Dr. King's letter than this? How is this any different from a Texas white man writing to Dr. King, quote, "All Christians know that the colored people will receive equal rights eventually, but is it possible that you are in too great of a religious hurry?" Ezra Klein believes in his abundance and big tent politics because he views history from 8 to 12 years ago. He doesn't put things in their historical context unless it pertains to creating a fictionalized Zionist history to support apartheid Israel. He chooses to remain ignorant of the DNC ignoring Palestinian Arab American voters in rural Roman in 2024, similar to the DNC ignoring Black voters in Fannie Lou Hamer in 1964. He even refuses to acknowledge empirical political data coming from New York City as Zohran Mamdani won the Democratic mayoral race. This is a white man who paternalistically feels that he can set the timetable for another man's freedom. Oftentimes, his big tent politic tries to appeal to centrists and Republicans rather than the people left of them who actually want to vote for the Democratic Party. When it comes to Ezra Klein, Democratic socialists such as Zohran Mamdani are highlighted for their videos instead of their policies to tax the rich and implement free childcare. Whereas white supremacists like Charlie Kirk are celebrated for doing nothing but pushing half-baked arguments and incorrect statistics against 18-year-old college students. In his interview with Coates, Ezra Klein was completely unable to engage with Coates' historical responses as a black man living in America, and would quickly move on to another topic that fits his abundance narrative. All this to say, this is who the Democratic Party genuinely listens to. They listen to a white man who thinks analyzing black history to reveal our present moments is too deterministic, who only views history from 8 to 12 years ago and mainly works to appeal to centrists, Republicans, and bona fide white supremacists like Charlie Kirk. This is the framework
Rest in peace.
that shapes his words, which influences the Democratic Party to act on policies that affect America domestically and internationally in regards to U.S. global hegemony. Even when we observe the current election season, it can be argued that these issues with the white moderate extend to white America as a whole. In Maine, Graham Plattner has become the next Democratic candidate to run for the U.S. Senate in Maine. His campaign has exploded in popularity, and so has his controversies. Not only was Graham Plattner a Blackwater
Graham Cracker.
mercenary soldier.
It's interesting seeing that the grace and mercy that a lot of people, a lot of white people, I guess the argument could be made. They were created in a lab, but I think they still have autonomy. They're still human beings. But anyways, like, see, I'll get this guy who literally said that he joined the Marine Corps. Not out of poverty, okay? The guy's from a pretty wealthy family. He joined the Marine Corps because he wanted to kill people. That's literally what he said, okay? He said he wanted to join the Marines because he wanted to kill. He wanted to go overseas. He wanted to kill people. He wanted to get paid for it. And he wanted to get away with it. So, like, imagine if a black person literally said that they wanted to do this. He would have not been allowed, he would not be allowed around at all. They would not extend this type of grace and mercy to a black person. Or let's go a little bit further, okay? Let's do something realistic. Let's say we have a black person who grew up in the Nation of Islam. He hung out with Farrakhan. He got a picture taken with Louis Farrakhan, okay? Who actually has a mass base among black people in this country. A much bigger mass base among black people in this country than organizations like DSA and PSL do. Okay? If we had a mayoral candidate that was black, that was raised in the NOI, okay, an entirely feasible situation, would these white liberals, would these white social democrats, would they extend to him or her or them the same grace and mercy that they're extending to a literal fucking Blackwater mercenary? You and I both know that that would not be the case. That would not be the case. Also, if you're a decent social democrat, keep Obama out of your ear, okay? Keep Obama out of your ear. Do you all know why, I fucked with electoral abstentionism for so long and why I still have, an iffy view on elections? It's because of Obama. Obama betrayed my entire fucking generation. We wanted to believe in this dude across all races. Okay? I was in high school when Obama got elected the first time. I voted for him in 2012. What did he do? He denounced the Ferguson uprising. He destroyed Africa. He fucked us over with healthcare. The guy was no good. The guy was no good. He fucked us all. He betrayed my entire generation. Every millennial radical that doesn't fuck with elections probably doesn't do so because Obama screwed us all over. That's why. You know this shit is haunted. This is a ceremonial indigenous mound in Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta, the same part of Mississippi that my family's from. Why would you build a fucking house on top of that? So you've got slave ghosts and you've got Native American ghosts. Your shit is fucked up. So if you want to join DSA, you can use my link. We've got like a little friendly socialist competition going on. Yeah. I regret voting for Obama the first time. I voted for him in 2012. I would not vote for him again. I would not vote for Obama again. But you could join DSA with my link here. Help me win this little friendly socialist competition. I've got 2 referrals so far. So if you're not a DSA, I highly recommend that you click the goddamn link and join. Also, if you do some iffy shit like, I don't know, bomb Harvard, make sure your eyebrows are covered. They can identify you through those. So yeah, be smart. Of course, this is not a call to do anything ifty and shiesty like that. But if you do, be sure to cover your entire face. This is Vic Mensa. You should listen to him.
UAE is funding a genocide in Sudan. This is not new, but honestly, it's been difficult to gather public support because they're using black mercenaries to kill black people. But now videos have started to emerge, horrible, gruesome mass murders. I asked my father how long it's been going on. He said since the beginning of time. You see, Sudan represents the last frontier of African countries that they couldn't completely Arabize. And of course, they have oil. This millennia-long attempt by Arab powers to take over Sudan and northern Africa is exactly how Egypt went from looking like this to looking like this. I love ancient Egypt. I'm an Egyptian history buff. The Nubians of modern Sudan were actually the pharaohs of Egypt at a point in time, and always inextricably linked to that cradle of civilization. Long before that, the original pyramid builder of the Great Pyramid was a pharaoh named Khufu. And somehow these motherfuckers say the Egyptians were not black. Since the fuck when you ever meet a non-black person named some...
I got into it with the Egyptians over this. Like, they really do not like African people claiming that the original Egyptians were black. I'm not a Hotep or anything like that, but Egypt is in Africa, okay? So, like, if they're say, would we attribute Chinese civilization to anybody but the Chinese people? Why would we attribute the development of Egypt and Egyptian civilization to anybody but Africans? If I recall correctly, it's been a while since I've read Cheikh Anta Diop, but like the Egyptians themselves literally said that like our ancestors came from further south. They came from the area around Lake Victoria. So like, why would you like? It's just white supremacy. That's literally all it is. All these white archaeologists and even some of them, they're like, yeah, these people were originally black. All you have to do is look at how they depicted themselves. Like you can look at pictures and you can look at pictures of tombs in Egypt, and like the people in those the way the ancient Egyptians literally depicted themselves with my skin color. Okay, so like they're not white, they weren't Arab, they weren't anything, but Egyptian, and Egyptians are indigenous to Africa. They didn't come from anywhere else. They came from Africa. Egypt is in Africa. So it's just amazing like how pressed modern day Egyptians get when you bring this fact up. Like these people looked kind of like me. And of course, ancient Egypt was also a multinational, multiracial society. Nobody denies that. But the original Egyptians had my skin tone. That's how they depicted themselves.
Shit like Khufu. Now, my son is Kofi, my father is Kweku. You put it together, you get Khufu. Like, what are we talking about? It's like me going to ancient Britain. They got a King Brett. And I say, man, Brett was black. Look at Skepta. And just because I got time today, I'm going to show you how the Egyptians of Khufu's time depicted themselves. This is the tomb of Hesi Ra, a.k.a. Richard fucking Pryor. Look at this nigga's afro. This is the tomb of Mastaba. These are black people. The Egyptians depicted themselves in a lot of shades, many of them brown, because the concept of race as we know it today is a fallacy. But to try to erase the fact that they were black is some stupid shit. Back to Sudan. My father's best friend in university was a man named John Garang. He was a Sudanese revolutionary and vice president. He fought proxy Arab militias that would eventually morph into the modern-day RSF, the group carrying out the genocide. The first time I ever saw my father cry, we were on a road trip, and John Garang's helicopter mysteriously crashed out of the sky. It's burned into my memory. The destruction of African people by the Arab world is an ancient tale. Our freedom is not only to be won from the Europeans, it's just as necessary to break free from the abuses of the Middle East. But look, the Middle East Arab people are not a monolith. We're very, very connected.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Pan-African sentiment. Hopefully some people will take heed to that instead of getting pressed and constantly angry. You're not doing anything but embarrassing yourself. And I don't want to see you embarrassed. Ancient Egyptian civilization is so overrated. I beg to differ. It's cool. It's cool to study. I'm a bit of an ancient Egypt buffus, I guess you could say. Pretty much all black people are. They stole so much of our history. They stole and they denied so much of our history. I mean, why wouldn't we seek to reclaim it? But yeah, don't let Obama do to Iran what he did to Africa. We're much better than that. Nobody has time for that shit. Like, it's too late in the game to keep allowing this shit to happen over and over and over and over again. Let's play some Bannerlord. I want to hit people with swords. So how are y'all doing today, chat? Never say that BRG doesn't give a fuck. How's your day? Did you come across any good theory? Did you come across any good revelations that you would like to share with the class? No? Aw. Maybe you should stop watching streamers and read a book. Biden was your betrayal? Huh. Man, I never fell for Biden. Mine was just another shitty old white dude. Let's take a walk. Let's touch some grass, well, in this case, sand. Ew, what the fuck am I wearing? What do I think of Bad Mouse? They follow me. Don't have any contradictions with Bad Mouse. Why, have they been wrapped up in some dirty drama? Have they done something problematic? I just like to get one of these houses and chill. But instead I have to keep fighting wars. A lot of beggars. I got hurt in that last battle. Let's wait. Let's get rid of this junk. You learn that there are hundreds of thousands of Filipinos powering our international shipping networks because they can't find work at home And the reward for doing the number 2 most dangerous job is a terrible wage, harassed by the CPB and getting murdered if they speak out. Yeah, that's pretty common. It's kind of the same with migrant workers in the United States who literally pick all of our vegetables and fruit. Like if they try to organize, they get tormented and harassed and attacked. It's not good. But such is life under imperialism. You literally have Mexico. It's literally just an entire like rear area for capital. Basically a near free labor source. Is there anybody that needs killing? Yeah, I voted for Jill Stein actually in 24. Get him. That was the first time I'd voted since 2012 in a presidential election. You know, everybody has the right to their opinion. Bad mouse is part of everybody. I really don't get pressed over what other content creators say. Everybody has the right to their own opinion and to believe what they want. It's really not worth your time getting jammed up over what other people believe. Take those two out. Die, you bastard! Fuck him up. Kill him. Get him. This guy's just charging full of arrows. And yes, ossified party bureaucracies are so bad. That's why the Cultural Revolution is a thing. Does the Cultural Revolution solve everything? Absolutely not. But it definitely helps. You have to combat and take out the rioters in the party. Or at least break their influence. The Cultural Revolution does not necessarily mean like torturing people to death. It's actually the exact opposite of what the Cultural Revolution is supposed to do. I'm not fighting no duel with you, big bruh. And you have that glaive. You are not going to take me out that easily. Plus, I'm still kind of hurt. Get him. A bow and arrow in close combat. That's a choice. No. Not a single one of my guys got hurt or killed. This bandit's got skill issues. Ooh. Yeah, I'll swap you with this. We're not at war with everybody, with anybody. Kind of sucks when you're a warrior to not be at war. Warriors got to be at war. That's how warriors work. Maxed out my party.
Well now, stranger.
On my orders! Archers! Loose formation! Soldiers! Form a shield wall! Horse archers! Stand apart! Give him hell! Footmen! Footmen! Attack!
Bastard. Come here. Bastard. Fucking horse cowards. Dothraki scum. What now? Whee! And I'm just gonna impale your ass. Come here, chump. I'm not entering a tournament when I'm hurt. That's the tournament's over. Oh well. Can't get jiggy with this shit. Oof. Die. That. Now I can get jiggy with this. The Lord belongs on a horse. I cannot get jiggy with this shit. You occupy my land. No, you won't. Stop blocking, you coward. Let me kill you. Little imperialist punk. Let me gut you like a pig. Stop running away. You are on stolen Kuzate land. Land back. Thank you. Fuck. Why does everybody keep blocking when they know they're gonna die? Ooh. I am not a horse archer. I'm a killer. Well, that's a bit of nihilism for you. Get off my land, you imperialist swine. Be gone. Go back to the warm lands. You're dead. Oh, you killed my buddy. No, I killed you. Ouch. You sucked, buddy. Ow. You have horse, I must also have horse. I hate this jousting shit. Oh, this is what we're doing? My favorite type of combat. I think I broke his nose. Quit blocking like a bitch. Why is your spear out? Put that away, that's obscene. Spears are not for close quarters combat, dumbass. Dumb. Alright, let's cripple this fucker. And go home. Oh, you want to throw javelins? You stupid fuck. You dumbass. I do not need another stitched, cured leather coat. I'm already wearing one. Can Monchuk declare war on somebody? Ooh. I'm tired of fighting with fake weapons. Go. This is how Maoists fight. Gutted his ass. Anybody else? Ugh.
not quite.
I need a war. Oop, nope, 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 nope. Not a war like that. Never fight people that outnumber you. Leather to board. I have need of such. No spear. That's animal cruelty. Now that's crusade cruelty. I'm a member of an oppressed nationality. You can't hit me, I'm not white. Yes, horseback archery is very fun. It's also very difficile.
It's been a while.
Wants to turn me to a fucking glorified tax collector. Oh, why not? Where am I going? It's called being a cadre.
It's been a while.
Finally, a war. Stop or I'll keep your money, you stupid con. Thank you.
It's been a while.
Who we killing? Damn, the Asarai be getting their asses beat. Pathetic. That's what happens when you spend all your time trading and not no time fighting. Oof. DSA's NPC Steering Committee approved the amended resolution to form the Rural Organizing Working Group under the Growth and Development Committee as a subcommittee. Oh, that is excellent news. We should not neglect our rural comrades. Manchug's army has disbanded due to a lack of cohesion. That's what happens when you're disorganized. Anyways, it's dinner time. I will see y'all tomorrow to find out whether or not Zeron has what it takes. I'm Black Ray.